Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Jessica. Today we are making these really fun knotted challah rolls. These rolls are perfectly light, fluffy, and topped with a seeded mixture to give it a little bit of extra texture. They're perfect for weeknight dinners or for a Thanksgiving side dish. Challah is considered an enriched dough, so we'll need a few other ingredients in addition to flour, salt, and water. Enriched doughs are made with an addition of fat and sugar. We'll get more into all that later, but first we need to make the seeded topping. We're mixing together poppy seeds, sesame seeds, and old-fashioned rolled oats. The first thing we need to do is proof or rehydrate the yeast. While technically modern yeast doesn't need to be rehydrated, it can just be added straight to the dough. I like to proof my yeast to ensure it's alive as well as kickstart it. You'll want your water around 110 degrees Fahrenheit and definitely no hotter than 138 degrees Fahrenheit, as that will kill your yeast. To the yeast bowl, we're adding some olive oil, honey, and eggs. You'll notice that we're adding quite a few eggs into this challah bread, which is actually something really unique about this type of bread. The notable higher amount of eggs in this recipe actually help contribute to the yellowish crumb of the challah bread. Once you have everything into the bowl, give it a nice stir to break up the egg yolks. In a separate large bowl, go ahead and combine your bread flour as well as your fine sea salt. We use bread flour in this recipe to give it just a little bit more of a chewy bite to the rolls, since bread flour has a higher protein content than all-purpose flour. Go ahead and make a well in the center of your flour and add our yeasted mixture. You're going to form with your hands a shaggy dough. It takes a little bit to come together, but it should look similar to this. Once it's roughly combined, we're going to go ahead and flour our surface. Make sure that it's clean, of course, and dump all the dough. This is where you're going to have to put a little elbow work in, and we're going to be kneading the dough for a whole 10 minutes. Remember that the kneading process is the part that actually forms our proper gluten structure. So don't cut this 10 minutes short. You need it in order to get a nice fluffy challah roll. As you continue to knead, the dough will begin to look more smooth and elastic. After the 10 minutes is up, we're going to perform a test called the window pane test. This helps us to determine if our dough has been properly kneaded. If the dough can stretch thin enough to allow light to pass through it without tearing, your dough is good to go. Moving on, lightly grease a glass bowl and set your dough in there. We're going to cover this and allow the dough to rise in a warm, draft-free place until doubled in size, about 90 to 120 minutes. Your rise time will vary depending on the temperature of your environment, but it's very important that you wait until the dough has doubled in size or the crumb will not turn out properly. Next, punch down the dough to release some of the gas. We're going to be dividing this dough into 20 equal portions of about 60 grams each using a bench scraper. While you're dividing the dough, because it will take a little bit, make sure to cover the rest of the dough with a tea towel so nothing dries out. Now for the fun part, we get to actually make the knotted rolls. Gently roll a piece of dough against the counter into an elongated log shape about 8 inches in length. Next, shape the log into an upside down U, then cross one arm over the other. Grab the bottom right arm and thread it through the hole. You'll allow one side to just gently fall to the side, and you can pinch it on the bottom in order to close the roll and hold everything together. It looks complicated, but trust me, once you practice, you'll get the hang of it and you'll get these beautiful looking rolls. Be sure, while you're making each of the rolls, you continue to cover them with a towel so nothing gets dried out. Now it's time to add an egg whitewash and sprinkle the seeds on top of the rolls. We're actually doing this stage before we proof the rolls, and if you're not familiar with the term proofing, proofing is the final rise before the rolls go into the oven. Make sure that you generously but lightly brush the rolls with the egg wash and put as many seed toppings on as you would like. We're once again covering with a towel and then allowing the rolls to proof in a warm, draft-free place for 30 to 60 minutes. You can test that the dough is properly proofed by gently touching with your index finger. If the dough slowly springs back and leaves a small indent, it's ready to go. Now, in order to get that nice, shiny, golden color on top, we need to do one more final egg wash. From here, the rolls are going to go into an oven heated to 350 degrees for about 18 to 22 minutes until they are golden brown on top. As always, the full recipe will be linked in the description below. I hope you enjoy making these.